and yourself?
No, I just
Not
see
yet?
like
Okay. No,
black screen.
maybe they are still arranging the scene in the projection room. Anyway, we are seeing you. So, welcome here virtually on our screen in our movie theater. Thank you to be here and thank you for your beautiful movie. And we have just seen it now, so I don't know if people are already ready to ask questions, but maybe we will wait for a while and I will ask you the first question so that then people can do it themselves. So, c'è qualcuno di voi che ha bisogno di traduzione o capite tutti l'inglese? Va bene. Se c'è qualcuno non si faccia problemi, alzi pure la mano e io farò delle veloci traduzioni. No? Oh, perfetto. Okay, nobody needs a translation, so better for us. So, first question. Your movie is, we could say in a tradition of beautiful movies coming from Iceland in these years. We also screened some of them, like Rams and some other movies from your country. And your country is so special with such a wild nature and such an isolation of people living in small villages or even isolated houses like the farm that is in your movie. So I think nature is very important for you also in I don't know if the title, you know, it is the same, but the Electric Woman also had a focus on nature, and so many movies from Iceland have this focus. In your movie in particular, nature is really the center of the story. If you want to start from this, is it actually a sort of character, the nature in itself?
Yeah, from the beginning, we were when we were writing the script, uh, the nature was always like a character, in the script. So that was something that we thought was very necessary to have. That because we also used a lot of like our folk tales, and many folk tales are about something that people cannot explain, or that something in the nature that they come up with some stories to explain something that they cannot explain.
Yeah. So, did you take inspiration from some particular tales, folk tales, or it's just the kind of tale that you wanted to build that looked like folk tales?
Yeah, we used our stories, but somehow it was not non-specific story, and in a way we were just trying to come up with our own folk tale. And yeah, because what we used is something that is very common in all the folk tales, is something happened on a Christmas Eve, or yeah, just like a small elements, but nothing else. It's we don't have any stories about like ramen or ata or nothing like that.
Oh, okay. And you wrote the movie together with a writer, a poet, but the first idea was yours. Is it correct? And you spent a very long time to develop the movie. Could you please tell us the whole process, how it worked.
Yes, in the beginning, I've been working in the film industry for a very long time, and in almost every departments. Uh, but when I realized that I wanted to make a film by myself, then I somehow started to make like a what do you call it, a reference book or some book that I was collecting like images. I was doing a lot of paintings and some, adding some photos. And I spent a lot of time doing this book. And then my producers, they introduced me to Sean, the writer, and we met for a coffee, and I showed him this book. And I didn't have the story there, but I had, Ata, I had the Brahman and sheep farmers and some scenes, but the story was somehow very broken. And but we spent, after this coffee, we started meeting like a once a week for a very long period. And yeah, I think just after meeting for like 5 years, then we wrote like a treatment. And when the producers were happy, then Sean took over and wrote the first draft of the script.
Okay, and I have read that you have a long career in cinema, but not as a director. So this is your first feature film, but you had already worked in cinema in different fields, like some fields that remind us that you must have a very big attention, like you have in the movie, towards lights, towards colors, towards the visual aspects of the movie. And actually, it's a very visual movie. You told us now that you started with drawing, with sketches. Is apparently very clear that the visual aspect of the movie is very important in your story.
Yeah, the way I work is through visuals. If we found some nice reference or images, then we try to create like a scene that could be similar to these paintings, for example. And so, and also when we finished the first draft, I spent I don't know how many months, just doing like a storyboard for the whole film. And yeah, because I think it's very important, um, because this is a visual media. So I think it's very important how you use it and how you tell the story, because uh, you don't have to say this, tell the story with dialogue, because if you can just feel, how the people are feeling, or the animals, or then, for at least for me, it's more much more interesting.
Your movie is about many different themes. There is love, there is the strength of love, but there is also violence, and there is death, and there are symbols, we could say, that we can also interpret it in different ways. And maybe also what you were saying, the nearly absence of dialogues, the few dialogues that you decided to put in the movie, was it in order not to give too much to the audience, too much explanation, to leave them free to give their explanation to the movie?
uh, in the beginning, we decided that uh, my producers and my writer, that okay, we really want to make this film, and we knew it was a very risky film to make, and so we decided from the beginning that we should just make a film for us, make some film that we felt that we had not seen and wanted to see. But when we were working on it, then I also realized that that we were also doing, we were also making film, uh, some kind of film that I like. When you give the audience, it's for the audience, because they can, they can interpret it, in a different way, or they can come up with, they can read totally, like different things out of it, and because there is nothing right or wrong. So I think that is something that I just realized later, that that we were also doing that, and because I really like when I'm in a cinema and I feel that I'm a part of, somehow creating the story, or I have to decide for myself where it's going and what it mean, and yeah.
Yeah, maybe mystery is the center of your movie. The mystery of nature, human nature, borders between human and other animals, we could say, and the relationship between us and the rest of nature. The mystery seems the core, the really the heart of this relationship.
Yeah, for me, this is not a horror film. It's a, it's more like, it is a family drama, and what we're dealing with is loss, grief, parenthood, uh, acceptance. What is family? Do you have to be like blood related, or when are you family? So I think all the things we were talking about through this process, and what we, in a way, maybe we're not trying to, uh, that was just things that we were talking about when we were writing the script. So it's, I hope it came through somehow, but we are not trying to, somehow, what is it, force it through, or it's a, but that was the things that we were dealing with.
Okay. I will ask them I will ask the people if they have some questions now. See, okay, I'm coming with the microphone.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, hi.
Hi. Uh, can I ask some questions about the themes in the movie?
Yes.
Okay. So, as I interpreted it, there is this event that happens where the natural order of like nature is subverted, right?
Mm-hmm.
So there is this beginning where the ship is taken in as a child, and this transformation starts to happen. And in the end, the goat man, can I call him that?
Yeah, the Ram Man.
The ram man, yes.
Oh.
He appears and he kills the man in the same way that the sheep, the goat sheep mother was killed.
Mm-hmm.
So, um, is it fair to say that it is the revenge of nature in itself, or is it more a ship thing, like, because it's a very, yeah, it's very literal in a way, right? So it's basically just a mirror event of what happens in the first half of the film, but just in the end.
You know, I don't look at it as like a revenge or anything like that. You know, for me, it's just like a couple that are willing to do almost everything to recreate the happiness they had before. But you know, it's a, you know, there's a lot of questions. You know, it's it's I think it's more against the nature somehow that how we treat the nature and how, you know, somehow we feel that we rules or we are the king and we can do everything we want. And yeah, so you know, it is also like a, you know, love story. And you know, yeah, you know, like nature gives, nature takes. So you know, it's a this is for me at least, you know, because I really don't like to, you know, explain my vision on it, but somehow it's, you know, for me it's not like a revenge for Maria for killing the mother sheep.
Okay, I understand. Thank you.
You're welcome.
There is another question. Oh, okay. Just a moment. Hello.
I
Hi. I was just curious about because I wanted to ask you about the challenges of shooting this movie. For example, you know, I saw there were beautiful shots of animals that looked like almost aware of the camera, looking at them and I was wondering if they are all like if they're altered in any way or like with CGI, the sheep, or if it's all like really great work with animals. Um and also I wanted to ask you if it was challenging in any way to shoot Ata, and how was working with that.
you know, okay, I will start with Ata. Ata was very challenging, you know, because uh, we, you know, it's a, you know, it's not a big budget film, you know, with here in Iceland. You know, it's a like just a, like a normal film, but you know, somehow we knew that it if Ata would not work, it would be like a total failure. You know, and somehow what we wanted to do is, you know, we were working with 10 kids, puppets, and 4 lamps that we had through the whole shooting. And, you know, we took a break and they grew a little bit. And so, you know, they were just living at this farm that we were shooting at. And I really respect the actors because all the scenes with Atta, we had to, you know, we had to do it, you know, first with puppets, then with children, then with real lambs. So they have to act all this scene through, and it was very time consuming doing that. But but then, you know, later we found out it was so good for, you know, Frederick North and his company that were doing these visual effects, you know, because we had so many elements that sometimes, you know, sometimes they could use the real lamp, and sometimes they have to, you know, do like a visual effects. But you know, in a way, it made it, you know, much stronger. About the animals, you know, they are, you know, they are just real, and we did not do any visual effects, and we were working with farmers and animal wranglers, and I also grew up. My grandparents are sheep farmers, were sheep farmers, and a lot of the crew also grew up in the countryside. So there was a lot of people that knew how to handle animals, or because especially in the first chapter, we were just using like real lambs, and maybe the crew was just had to be quiet for 30 minutes while somebody was bottle feeding it and trying to put it to sleep, and then the actors go in and start to act, and then it wakes up, and then we have to take another like 30 minutes to try to put it to sleep. So it was just a I think what I learned from this is that if you just treat the animals well and respect, and somehow they always give you what you want in the end, because you know that I heard that you should never make like film with animals, children, and da da da, but somehow I it was easier than I thought, because somehow when you're working with such a good crew, yeah, or maybe we were just lucky. I'm not quite sure.
Thank you. I just wanted to say that the Ata looked amazing and the animals were great. And yeah, I was just wondering how you guys pulled it off, but you did an amazing job.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Hi. Well,
Hi.
in the first shot, we see horses. Okay, I think that the first shot is beautiful because it introduces you to fog, to the lands. But for the rest of the movie, we see lambs and the goats. But for the first shot, you choose horses. Um, is there any reasons, or because just you like horses?
Uh, it's very normal when you drive around Iceland over the winter time that you see like a group of horses, staying somewhere, far away from farms, and because in some area they are just staying outside, the whole year through. So, but there was some scene that was going to be in the end, but it didn't work out, as well as I thought. So, but that somehow doesn't matter. It was not, something that had to be together. But no, I just wanted to. I need something to. So you can see that there are some threat coming. That the animals are afraid when they see something that is coming closer. So it was always yeah, we always had horses in the beginning, because it's even though Mari and Ingvar don't have horses, then it could be the next farm that is far away, and so yeah, it's very normal here.
Okay, there is another question here.
Hi, congratulations for the film, first of all. I was wondering about the figure of the brother and how this sort of relation, borderline relation with the woman, is connected with the main story of the film.
You know, the brother, you know, we thought that he was very important because in a way they have started living in a bubble, and you know, we needed somebody to come there and, you know, tell them that, you know, it's probably not right what they're doing. And yeah, and I think, you know, the first chapter, maybe it's a little bit heavy, or, you know, it's you know, uh, so we need to have some, like, what is it, comic relief, or, you know, it have to be also be, you know, funny. So I think Peter was somehow, we wanted to, maybe he's asking the questions that the audience are asking themselves, and you know, about the backstories. We had many backstories, and but none of us, you know, did agree about, you know, what was right or wrong. Numi had a totally different backstory than me. I had another backstory, and Peter also, you know, the actor, you know, he had also a different one. So, you know, I was just trying to do it, you know, as I wanted to have it. So, but, you know, I think it's not something that, you know, yeah, I think it's more for you to figure out, you know, what you think about it, you know, or, you know.
There is another question here.
Mm.
Hi, thank you for the movie, and I want to ask a thing about mostly about the features of the film, because I see in this film there are a lot of features that are present in various contemporary movies, like the figure of the hybrid. This, for example, in Titan, that was in Cannes. So I wanted to ask if what are the directors you look at when you make a movie, if there are some, and if you feel you are if you feel comfortable in the European current style, if there is one.
Sorry, if what was the last thing you were saying? Sorry,
If you feel you are comfortable to be inserted in this contemporary style, European style.
yeah, you know, it's a because this process was so long, and we were watching so many films through this process, and somehow, you know, what I think maybe is, you know, what I watched most was probably, you know, I went to this film school in Sarajevo that Belatar, he was, you know, he was the founder of the school, and he brought so amazing filmmakers there. You know, it was Tilda Swinton, it was Aprile Pong, Carlos Higatas, yeah, you know, Pedro Costa, and, you know, somehow, you know, I when I came there, it was probably 2013. I had already started, you know, working on the script. So all these filmmakers had a very big influence on me, because we were watching probably like 4 films every day, and meeting all these people and see that they had totally different way of working, and that there was nothing right or wrong, that you just needed to find your own style, and I really like that attitude. And yeah, you know, it's you know, I my favorite filmmakers. It changed almost every day, but Bellatar is one of them, Carlos Ricatas, and I like Lars von Trier. I like so many films that I watch. I'm always watching films, so it's always changing. It depends on what day it is and what film I watched yesterday.
And there is another question. You used the same music that also Lars von Trier used in one of his movies at the end, by the way. And what about Lantimos? Do you like it? There is some connection, maybe.
Yeah, I love him. And the music. You mean the in the end of the film? Oh, sorry.
Yeah. In the end of the film, you used classical music that also Lars von Trier used in one of his movies, Antichrist.
Are you sure? It was. I think Stanley Kubrick used that.
Also, maybe also.
In Barry Lyndon, I think. But somehow it was. I had a very long list of songs that we were trying in the end, and we tried so many things, and somehow when we tried this one, I felt it was the totally right song, because of I wanted to have a break, and then I wanted to have something that was very dramatic and would just let keep you thinking about the film. So I think we tried over like 60 songs, but somehow this was always my favorite. So yeah, it was not because of some other film or nothing like that. It was just we tried a lot of classical music, and also our composer, he did a lot of he tried a lot of scores, but somehow this was our favorite.
Okay, thank you. There is another question here.
Hi, I like the movie very much, and I think it's a kind of movie that I will not forget, because the story is very original, and everything it's difficult to forget, something special in some way. But I didn't understand if the story comes from a folkloristic tale. I missed something before.
No, it's a story that we just create from it's totally something that we wrote, me and Sean, my writer, and but what we what we were working with is not religion. We were working with our old stories, the folk tales, and our folk tales, they are so there are so many books and so many fairy tales, and they are so similar sometimes, and what we took from that is maybe just like how the film starts, because in there are so many stories that start that something bad is going to happen in a Christmas Eve, and it's just things like that. So, but nothing else, and then it's a so it's like I think I said it before, is that we wanted to make our own folk tale, like that happens now, in our days.
You hear me?
Yes.
I have, first of all, I like the film a lot, so it's very good. And I have one question. when I was looking at the film, the atmosphere remembered me a lot of The Witch by Robert Eggers. And also the theme of the family inside the nature. The only protagonist was the family and the nature. So it reminded me a lot. I wanted to ask you if this film was influenced by The Witch, and which other movies was influenced by.
No, it's not influenced by Witch. What is it is influenced by is it's not films. It's more from images that we were collecting, like paintings, photos, and drawings. And so we were really trying to we wanted to make a very classical story, just with this one surrealist element. So we were just we felt we were totally free, and that we were just we just wanted to make some film that we wanted to see. And it's of course we are influenced by some films in a way, but there were no films that we are trying to be similar to, or I think we start working on the script like 2009 or 10. So it's a long period, and we watched a lot of films, and we went to cinema together. So it's there are so many films that when you see something that you like, that, and it probably influence you a lot.
Okay, is there any other questions? So my last question, which are your favorite painters, the ones that you looked at doing your movie?
It's a very difficult question, because I think like the reference photos that we had was probably over 10,000. So it's a lot of images that we were working with, and but there are some references that I really care about, but I'm not even quite sure where it's from, and because we just printed out and had it in some book, and but I really want to say thank you to all of you to coming and watch our film in the cinema. I really appreciate it, and I hope I can, my next project, I really want to come to Italy and, find work in some, residency to write my next project, because I came to, Rome.
Yeah, you were at the Festa del Cinema di Roma.
Yeah, and it was so wonderful. I was there for 3 days, but I just felt that I should just live there. It was it was so amazing, and so I really want to come back. And
so we wait for you. You have to pass by Milan too next time.
Yeah. I think I have to travel all around Italy, because it's so wonderful country, and yeah.
Thank you.
I'm coming there. Hopefully this summer.
Okay, we are very easy to find, because we are really near the central station here in Milan. So if you arrive by train, we are just here 10 minutes from there. So we wait for you. And so good luck for your next project. Do you already have some idea about it, or?
I have some ideas. Not the story. I'm just now collecting like images.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. So thank you very much, really.
Thank you so much, and I really appreciate that your comments.
Thank you. And see
So
you.
bye
See you.
and
Bye
good night.
bye. Bye bye. Però a proposito di roba